one, but you can still do it, and I'm sure EGM is proficient enough with the hero to be able to do so. The real question I have is if VP are going to try and run this trialing aggressively or not.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think they will.
Well, we'll see. In the meantime, you can vote in the chat, in the Twitch chat. If you vote !A, it is your vote going to Alliance. !VP, it goes the way of virtus.pro. So where's your vote gonna go, Alliance or virtus.pro? Now that you know the draft, who is gonna take it all? Who is gonna take this game? And will we actually see a game number 3? I hope that we will, but I do think that Alliance lineup looks pretty strong. At the same time, virtus.pro definitely has seemed to have a plan as well. So we'll find out what they go for. We have got Alliance on the Radiant side this game. Aki once again playing his Visage. It will be EGM with the flamey hairs. The worst pro rating? 25? What? Lina? No. That's actually really bad. That's
really bad.
That's
so bad.
That's not even a little bit bad. No, that's really bad. 25%. That's sad. But yeah, like EGM is gonna try to make it better for Lina. So we'll see. Playing.
But then again, Quantic was Icy Cup was the same win rate against Quantic today in the bets. Remember that, 25%.
True. And still
it's a sign.
It's
a sign.
25 is the lucky number of today. Booyah! Now we're gonna see Loda playing his anti-mage. No real surprise that he is taking on that carry role. The mid lane, S4, playing the Bat Rider again. No surprise that he's taking on the mid role, and I guess no more surprises left as Bulldog plays the Nature's Prophet. He will be going towards the lane for now, but I doubt it will last for long as the virtus.pro seemingly getting himself some extra pocket monies. And 15 experience. If they're lucky. 22 experience! Woo!
Got there.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
That's so much experience. How do you even beat that? I don't know. We'll see what happens in this top lane if Admiral Bulldog is going to hang out for a while and try and get experience, or if he immediately starts running down towards the jungle. Kind of expecting the ladder where he just walks down, and that does seem to be the case. Darkseer already in the jungle, of course. He knows that he's going to, Anti-Mage is going to be in the defensive tri-lane, so he's not going to have her head down there and try and deal with that lane, because it sounds miserable for him, to be honest. Bulldog, I think he went up there maybe expecting that there was a chance they try and run that tri-lane aggressively, which is kind of the same opinion I had. They could have done it. I didn't think it was likely. Mid lane, the only place that means that's going to be really a fight for farm, and we'll see who comes out ahead. It should be Tamar Wild on the puck.
The previous time it was...
That's not what I meant. It should be S4 and Bat Rider. What am I saying?
Yeah.
It should definitely be Bat Rider, and he's already got the advantage.
Yeah, and he has actually got a bigger advantage than Tamar Wild had when he was playing the Bat Rider. So we'll see how these like this is the ultimate matchup, right? The two same matchup over and over. Of course, we did have the illusion rune and EGM. I believe that he had it. Yeah, that I mean he harassed a little bit in the mid lane. So that's already gonna put Tamar Wild a little bit behind purely because of that rune usage by EGM. But yeah, the ultimate matchup, seeing how the players do, and they of course just face each other on the opposite roles. So testing their skills that way, and I mean rotation of supports is going to be very important, I guess, for this matchup, as S4 gets harassed quite a bit here by Tamar Wild. But we have got a haste rune up on Disruptor, and that might be problems. There are no wards there on the side of Alliance. There is of course only a level 1 Thunderstrike. Oh, Courier is already flying though. That's where he was trying to find, but he won't be able to find it.
Yep, but it's already flying, so he's not going to be able to get that pick off. The haste rune is useful for him trying to make that kill, otherwise it's ultra dangerous and he probably ends up dying because he doesn't really have an escape path from there. But of course, already flying for Alliance, just to be able to get away easily. It's actually hanging out with the bottle full, or empty. Oh.
He doesn't.
Are they waiting for Disruptor, maybe? Yeah.
He just he microed it away from the lane, I think, and then forgot to micro to the base. That would be a little bit slower, but yeah, S4, I mean, even without bottle right now, 14-4, Tamar Wild, 8-1, so getting ahead there. That's good. We do have already a bit of a push going on here on the top lane, though. virtus.pro, they're trying to make sure that Admiral Bulldog comes back to this top lane and just waste some time just standing there pulling the lane behind the tower. And they are going to land quite some harassment up on this tier 1 here. Nature's Prophet, no mana to TP there actually, so that might actually be a free tower. if they continue sitting around there. But actually, they're so low level, this is not gonna go very fast.
Yeah, it's not really surprising that Emerald Bulldog wouldn't have the TP to port up here. You usually, they mana the TP up there. You're usually using almost all of your mana when you're jungling with him early on because you want to be able to get as many summons of your guys as possible very quickly. He has the mana now, but there's not a ton he can do up in that lane anyways. He can use Treants to try and pull the creep wave away. But best case scenario, he saves it for one creep wave and ends up getting himself killed.
Yep, and of course he doesn't have any mana for doing that either, for making treants. And you're right, I mean the lane is already back in the court of virtus.pro, so he is not going to be rushing himself over there at any time. We do have, of course, a free farming Anti-Mage up against a free farming PA. Anti-Mage one last hit ahead right now, but we'll see if that continues to happen. I mean, last hitting under a tower, or at least, sorry, pushing while you are trying to last hit is a bit different. You normally, when you start pushing, you as a carry lose a bit of last hits, as we just saw Illidan missing a last hit. But we'll see who ends up winning this farming battle, and that kind of makes this game like the ultimate contest between them, because who's gonna get the most last hits? Nobody's getting contested. Who's gonna win the mid lane with the same matchup that was there previous time? Is it gonna be won just as hard by, or at least or harder by S4 than it was won by Wild in the previous game? It's pretty interesting, to be fair, and we'll find out who is going to be getting ahead. Who do you think is going to be the victim of First Blood?
I was going to ask this question. It's hard to say. I think it's possible that it's going to be in the mid lane if the supports rotate there and try and get a kill on either one. Batrider is somewhat vulnerable to getting ganked, and Puck not particularly vulnerable, so I would favor Batrider going down first. But if the first blood doesn't happen in the next like 3 minutes or so, it's going to be in one of the side lanes, and that's going to be a direct result of Puck and Batrider moving probably at the same time, and it'll be whoever does something silly. So let's pick EGM.
Okay. I mean, you're gonna say like the 25 rating, it was not, it was no surprise there then, okay. We'll see. In the meantime, both teams are trying to push a little bit. There is a little bit more pushing power on the side of Alliance with the help of the Nature's Prophet, of course. The tier 1 towers on both sides do end up going down, though. And of course, the one difference that there was is that it was Admiral Bulldog that picked up the gold for the tower on the bottom lane. Well, the Phantom Assassin was the one to pick up the gold for the one on the top lane. So Loda, in terms of net worth, slightly ahead. Sorry, behind, because he didn't get the last hit on the tower. They're still even in terms of last hits on creeps. And it's not gonna happen any longer, because there's gonna be the Nike coming off here, and there's no, yeah, Loda is waiting for the creep wave to come back, but for now he has to deal with missing an entire wave, while PA is happily farming.
Yeah, PA is gonna continue farming, and it's really gonna, I don't know if this really favors either team directly. Anti-Mage is going to be more of a threat early, and then if it goes really, really late game, Phantom Assassin is going to be absolutely horrific for this lineup from Alliance. They don't have any particularly tanky against physical damage heroes. Pretty much all of them can die to a lucky first couple hit crit, except maybe the Visage. Just because he has the Gravekeeper's Cloak, so if the crit's early on, it's going to get mitigated by all of that armor. Regardless, they're going to have to worry about that, and Loda looks like he might be a target.
Oh, he is, definitely, but he's of course able to blink himself away. Looks like Illidan wants to try and chase him, though. Should be able to blink away in time again, and virtus.pro doesn't end up chasing it. No TPs come in, but they're able to force him back. Loda, I'm not sure, like, he probably has to go back bottom again, because right now he is losing out on farm, and he's moving around a lot without really getting anything there. So, yeah, I mean, quite surprising. He's actually walking back all the way. So, if we were worried before, wait a second, Dream Coil up on S4, in comes Arsard as well. Loda was around here anyway, so why not help out? We do have S4 looking to be the first blood. Darkseer roll goes down as well as Arsard gets a mana fight. That is Loda picking up the first blood in the middle lane. Can he get Wild as well? Wild has got an orb. He is going to be just fine. Nature's Prophet ends up going down still as Darkseer gets himself a kill. Also, Airman comes in. Won't be able to get a kill anymore here, though. And that's, of course, one of the differences. Loda, I was just saying, like, he moves around a lot, and it was all wasted time for him until virtus.pro initiated on the mid lane and just handed him a first blood. He was around there, so, you know, why not join the fight? And successfully so, and they only lost their Nature's Prophet for it. And we know that it doesn't really matter for Nature's Prophet progress because he has a Hand of Midas. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that could have gone better, and it could have gone worse, but regardless, they do get the first blood. It's on Anti-Mage. He kills the lion. Dang, my prediction was incorrect. It was the other guy with the exact same ult. But they get the first blood. It's pretty good for them. They lose Nature's Prophet eventually to Darkseer. I think that's actually a more interesting kill to have taken place. Just because Darkseer getting that kill is pretty good, and it was on a more high-value target than the Lion going down. Regardless, it helps Anti-Mage try and get more farm. He's still sitting pretty much dead even with the Phantom Assassin. Maybe a little bit of an advantage. But it's going to come down to just who can get more farm in this mid-game, I think.
Yeah, and who is going to be getting some gank stuff? Of course, the Bat Rider has almost got his Blink Dagger, so S4, once he has that, we might see a bit of a change of pace. Same thing goes for the Puck, though. Even though he's a bit further away, we did already note that Puck wasn't really winning his lane. Dream Coil, oh, he might be able to get a kill here, though. Light Strike Array misses, and this is going to be one dead Lina. Might be not first blood, but still ends up going down. KSI comes in to snipe the last hit, and it is virtus.pro that gets just a very easy kill. EGM, I'm not sure what he was thinking there. It was, if he was sitting on the high ground, it would have been more understandable, but he actually showed himself, and then there comes a Puck, and I was just saying that he wasn't really winning his lane, but with that pickup, he is a bit more on par with S4 in terms of gold. Still a 400 gold difference, nonetheless. It is a slower or lower difference than it was before, and that's a Blink Dagger for S4 ready at the same time as that kill happened.
Yes, it's another pickup for VP to be getting, and looking at Phantom Assassin's items, I think there's no way we're seeing the Battle Fury. Now that we've seen Phase Boots and Drums both being picked up, if you're going for Battle Fury, you're going for it at this point. Would already probably be getting close to it, not waiting till after Drums and Phase Boots completely finished. So a more aggressive Phantom Assassin build than maybe what you were predicting.
They want to go him, they get him. Blink shown, kill done. 4 people helping out. In the meantime, it was Visage that gets the last hit. So that's gonna be Aki getting a bit more extra gold. Also nice because he kind of needs it, but yeah. Getting ahead. Oh. Well, he is free farming. I mean, he was doing really well. He was keeping on par with Black, or sorry, Black. What am I saying? With Loda for a very long time. He's now roaming around a little bit though, and he doesn't seem to be sure about what he is doing. So he is losing quite a bit of his time. At the same time, Loda is farming a little bit on top. Is going to get forced back as well, though, because he was on the wrong side. He does have some help here. Bulldog as well as Aki hang around. Even though Bulldog doesn't have any mana to maybe do anything, his right clicks will definitely be there. Should there be a fight, even though it doesn't look like there will be. Maybe mid lane. I'm kind of curious to see what this PA is thinking. I mean, she's got Phase Boots and Drums. So in theory, she's ready to fight.
Well, yeah, Illidan can get involved in fights. Definitely has a lot of move speed and some good early damage, but isn't very resilient in these fights yet. Only sitting at about 1,000 HP, and can very easily get bursted down if she ever gets caught by a lasso. So probably going to need more items before Illidan really wants to start getting involved in fights. Maybe like a Lifesteal or BKB. And at that point, yeah, Illidan could definitely start being very aggressive and involved in big team fights. They're going on Loda, actually.
Yeah, there was already one crit. He is able to blink himself away, but here comes a glimpse back into the kinetic field static storm. That's going to be Loda dead. Nobody comes into... Well, actually, Bulldog comes into TP to help out, but to no avail. And actually, he's getting charged upon. The blink or light strike ray didn't do anything, didn't hit him. Laguna Blade is still going to be there. EGM goes down. That's another kill going the way of virtus.pro. They will still see their disruptor going down. The lasso hits upon Illidan. They might be able to get a return kill. Can he blink himself away in time? He can, but in comes Aki. He is very low. They'll blink afterwards from S4. One more hit needed. 3 stack. There we go. That's a double kill for S4. In the meantime, Visage still end up going down as well as Puck came in. Dream Coil up on S4. He will pay for killing off that Phantom Assassin. Impales and kills going the way of virtus.pro. They take down a total of 3 heroes. Sorry, make that 4 heroes in total. Anti-Mage, Lina, Bat Rider, as well as Visage. They lose their Phantom Assassin. But other than that, they lost the Disruptor as well. 2 for 4.
Yeah.
Still virtus.pro getting ahead there.
Yeah, a lot of kills taking place in that bottom lane. 6 kills being traded between the two teams, so it's 4 for 2. And Disruptor kills Nature's Prophet solo in the top lane. What?
What?
I don't even know how this just happened because Static Storm is on cooldown.
Loda might make him
Loda
pay,
has
though.
an Invisor though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna kill an S here.
No more mana
no
for
way.
an S. He can blink
Oh, he's
after
only got
him as
level
well.
1 mana break.
Oh, that's like... Wow, that's Loda not getting a kill. I really thought he could get that there, but no can do. In the meantime, his tier 1 tower on the bottom lane goes down. virtus.pro, of course, getting that as a reward for winning that fight on the bottom lane. It was a very drawn-out fight there. I mean, like, there were return kills for Alliance, but in the end, they got so much less than they gave away. It was great surprise, and they really put everything on everything to try and chase down Illidan, and they got him, but they lost so many heroes there. They could have let Anti-Mage die and think, you know what? We're gone. You take Anti-Mage and we'll continue farming some other place. It would have been a better option. Ooh, Blink. This must be a super fast Blink Dagger up on our side.
Yeah, Arsart loves to rush Blink Dagger on these heroes like Nyx Assassin and Lion doing it. Something I think Fluff and Stuff does for Liquid quite a bit. When they used to run this Lion support. Yeah. It's very powerful as an item on a hero like Lion. If you can get in and get these big initiations with the stuns off with this Blink Dagger, you can win fights for your team very quickly. So it's a very good pickup. They have the Blink Dagger on the line and the puck now, so their initiation is going to be amazing. And Phantom Assassin is going for BKB. There's the Ogre Club pickup. I think that's probably the right call if they're going to get aggressive here. And they can start doing it with this kind of a team.
Yeah, look at how aggressive they are. I mean, they know that they've been scouted out going into the Radiant jungle. 12.5 minutes faster.
No big deal.
No big deal. No.
It usually takes twice as long as it took Arsart to get it. But whatever. He got quite a little bit of farm here on his Lion, and we'll see if he can make something happen for it. If his team, because you know it takes away from your team a little bit if you have a Lion who's farming to get something like that. But if you make something happen, often letting a support like this get some of that early farm can really just pay off.
Yeah, and we see Alliance smoking up. They go top, but all 5 heroes of virtus.pro are sitting on the bottom lane. Bottom lane where they already have taken out the tier 1 tower, so perhaps they want to try and have a shot at the tier 2, or at least forcing Alliance back away from the tier 1, because that's where they're heading towards. Tier 1 tower on the virtus.pro is actually still sitting on half HP. It's not going to be going down that fast, and they will actually lose a tier 2 for it if they are not careful. And I mean, fortification is not there. They don't want to make the. I don't think they should make this trade. But then again, can they actually fight and defend? Maybe not.
Yeah, if I were Alliance right now, I wouldn't want to try and take a team fight against VP playing from behind against a team that just has superior team fight. They can still get that tier 1. They don't have to commit too much to it because VP has pretty much the worst pushing lineup in the history of Dota. None of their heroes are even remotely good at pushing. They're just all going to have to right-click. And that's not good at all.
No. But they do lose their tier 2. And trade for tier 1s though. I mean, one of us was the deny. But it's still a pretty nice tower to have in terms of tactical advantages. Where you can TP to. Still, Dire has got that Dire advantage. So the tier 2s are pretty close to Roshan as well. But it is not as big of a difference as it was before. So right now, in terms of Dire advantage for Roshan, the TP points for the tier 2 bottom and the tier 1 middle for Alliance and virtus.pro are actually even. So let's see if we're gonna see them taking a free Roshan, or if Alliance is knowing that this is going on. They know this is going on, actually. The bird already scouted out. We'll get a stun. Nice. Another stun comes in as well, delaying the push. But are they? They're not even. This is just being annoying. They're not even gonna try. They're trying to take down a tier 2 top, which they might be able to, pushing that out a little bit. But other than that, that's all they do. Unless S4 is feeling ballsy. He already knocked Illidan up to the high ground, but yeah, that's gonna be someone that.
Fortunately, Illidan is a hero with a blink.
Yes. We do have no Aegis attempt steal. We don't have an Aegis attempt steal, I should say then, but well, the threat was there, and I think we're about that for maybe a little while as well. We do have a tier 2 tower taken down, so they get that one back, but they gave up a Roshan for that. Towers are 1 in favor of Alliance with a tier 1 tower middle, but the Roshan going away for virtus.pro is gonna be putting virtus.pro in a good position to fight next fight. The gold graph is totally even. Experience graph is slightly in the way of virtus.pro. Of course, they are 3 kills ahead, but this game still very even. Could go either way.
Yeah, VP gave up quite a bit to get that Roshan giving away the tower. I mean, Roshan's a very powerful thing to have. It gives some additional gold, and of course, the Aegis that you're going to have up now. On the Phantom Assassin is going to make her way more survival, and we'll have that BKB momentarily. That's probably going to be the timing that VP are waiting for to start trying to make these fights, and I expect the tier 1 in the mid lane will be the first target.
Yeah, and that would be a good target to take. As I said, tactical advantage is important, and more so map control. Making sure that anti-mage has got a tough time to farm anywhere is of course always a victory right there. And talking about the anti-mage, I mean, we haven't talked about it in a while. He's been moving around a little bit. He of course got that first blood. He has got the highest net worth on the map, higher of course than the PA in terms of flash farming. That's no surprise. He has got his Battle Fury ready, has had so for a while. He's got himself 1300 gold next to having already a Yasha. So he's doing pretty okay. He's just still very squishy, so he just needs some more items, and I think if virtus.pro lets him have his way, it will be very tough for them to take it. We do have the BKB, I think, ready up on the PA, though. I think it's in the courier. Yeah, that's a BKB ready. So we might see virtus.pro just saying, you know what, we don't want to wait longer, and actually wait a second. S4 might be in some trouble. Dreamcoil misses! He blinks away in time and flies away in time. That's going to be one Battle Rider home safe, unless Illidan can chase him down, but he's walking through flames. Can't do that. His flames are bad. But yeah, I think virtus.pro might be happy too soon if Illidan gets himself his HPs back. Start to try and go for some more heavy pushing right here.
Yeah, and one of the things Illidan's got to be careful for right now is not just giving away this Aegis for free because he's so low in HP and kind of just sitting out in the middle of nowhere in that middle lane right now. Some additional support is coming by and they're fighting S4.
Yeah, there goes the stun and the finger of death just because he can. EGM is going to be the next target, tries to run, won't be able to. 2 kills going away, virtus.pro. Glim's back, getting back in range. Aki, another support on the brink of dying. I don't think he can get himself away. There you go, that's another kill going away, virtus.pro. Everybody getting a kill here as 3 different people took those kills. Lion, Puck, and Disruptor. It is support heaven right here. And they are going to take the tier 1 with that as well. They do have to also deal with the split push coming off from Bulldog though, because that's going to be a more and more annoying factor to deal with. It is one of his signature heroes, and it is that for a reason, just because it is so annoying to deal with that. But he is not doing all too well in terms of gold, actually. He's missing an item. It's only 20 minutes in, what am I saying? He's not missing an item.
Yeah, I don't know what you wanted him to have. How much farm do you want this guy to get?
Tons,
I know he was really farmed last game. Like, he had Radiance Midas at like 16 minutes or whatever. Or 17. Regardless, he's doing okay, and I think that's one of the biggest things for when VP gave up that tier 2 top to get Roshan. You gave away a tier 2 against Nature's Prophet Anti-Mage, and you know they're going to try and split push it. So opening up your tier 3 to taking damage when you really don't need to is a somewhat questionable play. Like, Alliance, they were consciously choosing not to fight at Roshan. Yep. They had all the sight in the world with those Visage Familiars hanging out in there. And so you know they're going to be taking something on the map, and I think that was one of the better targets for them to take, that tier 2 all the way up in that top lane. It's not a lane where Alliance or VP are going to spend that much time, and because they're on this aggressive path, they're going to spend more time in the Radiant jungle trying to stop Anti-Mage's farm there, and that's why we see Anti-Mage just farming away in the Dire jungle. Yeah. I don't know. VP, they need to try and get something else, I think, with this Aegis. It's going to be reclaimed in the next couple minutes, and they probably need to force something else to happen here.
Yeah, and they're going to get forced back top. They smoke up, though. We see the path that they are going to take. If they take this path, they're going to be walking into their own jungle where everybody of Alliance is. And the courier is actually on the way towards Load, I would guess, to get himself the Manta style. So that will be there. Wow, I think that's the smoke kind of failed right there. So they just counterward. And then with the gem that they have, let's see what they can do right now. Because they stop the smoke and just go start pushing down mid, forcing Alliance to respond. This time they can't respond in split pushing because the lane is not exactly there, and Nature's Prophet is pushing on the bottom lane, so they might actually be in danger of losing a tier 2 middle. I think Alliance might actually just give this up, considering the Aegis is still there and you don't want to fight a PA twice.
Well, and that's kind of been what Alliance have been doing for a while now anyways, is just giving towers away. They still have some towers to give away. There's the tier 2 in the mid and the tier 2 top that they can still afford to lose. It looks like, though, VP are just going to give it up because they want to keep their tier 3 safe up in that top lane. So the split pushing already starting to be frustrating for them. They've lost like a quarter of the HP on that tier 3.
Yeah, and S4 just having a stat that he is pretty decent bet rider. He does have it, I believe, as third most played heroes at the moment in terms of mid rolls. Not entirely sure if I said that properly, but yeah, pretty decent bet rider. He's got his 4 staff, he's got his blink dagger, he's had that for a while. His next item, we don't know yet what it's gonna be. We've seen Mask of Madnesses, not on Alliance, unfortunately, but it was fun to see. Maybe, hopefully for me, we're gonna see that again. Of course, it makes him extra fast. That's why you would pick it up. It's not even that big of a troll item, but probably BKB is a more safe option to go for here. You'll still be having Phantom Assassin do tons of damage on you, so maybe even Ghost Scepter could be nice. But yeah, we'll see what he goes for next. What are you expecting from him?
I think the BKB is the most likely choice here.
Not the Ghost Scepter?
Dire's courier.
Whoa. Dire's courier has been killed. And that was a
Where
courier
did that even die?
top lane. Courtesy of Admiral Bulldog. He had the Helm of the Dominator from Airman in it, so that will be for 3 minutes delayed. Yeah,
that's a pretty big delay. You want that lifesteal on Phantom Assassin as soon as possible to be able to just gain a bunch of HP back in fights. And we'll see what if P is going to finish it into the Satanic next to go for a big damage item. Both could have arguments made for them, I think, in this particular game. Because they're ahead, they could probably afford to go for Satanic just to make sure that PA is resilient as possible in these fights. You know, you already do a lot of damage just by virtue of your ultimate on the Phantom Assassin.
Yep.
So you don't necessarily need to buy a lot of damage items early.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed right here is that, I mean, when Alliance is split pushing, I mean, they're doing that, obviously. Virtus.pro is almost rotating with most of their heroes to stop it from happening. 3 of their heroes now on the top lane, but do they really think they can take down Bulldog? They can glimpse him, they do of course have that Gem of True Sight, but Bulldog is not going to be there. And by doing this, they're actually wasting quite a bit of time on farm, and we see the gold graph go in the way of Alliance purely because of Virtus.pro's rotations. It's not that, I mean, Illidan is still farming. It's just that everybody else of Alliance is farming as well, rather than just Anti-Mage. And that's really helping Alliance right now. I mean, the difference is still nothing though. I mean, 1.5k gold at this stage of the game means just absolutely nothing. Experience graph is also meaning nothing. 2k experience in favor of Virtus.pro. It's gonna be mostly sitting in, let's see, in the support levels. Actually, that's a pretty big difference in the support levels. The level 11s of Virtus.pro are there, while there is only a level 8 and 9 up on Alliance.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was gonna mention. The levels and the farm are also very, very disjointed on this side of Alliance, and there's a fight.
Lasso, NS, Laguna Blade, dead. Bat Rider with the kill. Nature's Prophet thinking about coming in, but wasn't even needed anymore. Well.
Yeah, so the supports are very different on the two teams. Alliance's supports are very underfarmed and underleveled, whereas the supports on VP have a little bit more farming levels. So that's kind of the thing that's going to end up being an issue eventually. Like VP, they're not farming necessarily as well, and Phantom Assassin obviously getting out-farmed by Anti-Mage just because Anti-Mage has been farming constantly and has the Battle Fury. But the farm is more central on the side of Alliance right now. Loda has a lot of it, and Admiral Bulldog also has a lot of it. No one else on their team is really doing particularly well. While VP have a lot of heroes that are doing pretty decently, with not just the Phantom Assassin, but also Darkseer and Puck are holding their own. I guess they're about the same as the Bat Rider right now. But it's going to come into like more than just big carry fight. What these supports can do in the fights is going to matter, especially if Anti-Mage doesn't go for BKB. But I really imagine it's probably what he's getting here.
Yeah, he picked already the Ogre Club, but BKB should be a logical follow-up. Just to not get glimpsed, because of course that's going to be very annoying if you rely a bit on your blink to get away from fights, as Roshan is by the way whack up and Lion smokes up. So let's see what they're going to do, if they're going to force Virtus.pro to cancel their Aegis claim.
I think they're trying to get as top as fast as possible, but maybe they're going to try and fight it. I don't know. These Roshans are just not very fast from Virtus.pro.
No, they're not. They're definitely not. Oh, that's a blink and last to KSI up on the high ground. And that is gonna be KSI gone. Can they get the Roshan still? No, they cannot. They have to let it go. BKB's all around. Nice dream code coming off from the puck. It is gonna be EGM that dies first. No surprise, that was Lina gone. Tamer Wild in some trouble. In comes Arsart with the finger of death. That's gonna be Aki going down on the sideline. Nice mana void. Lion drops. Ilden comes back in. Walks back out as well, as that is gonna be Tamer Wild getting himself away. S4 still blinking after him, and it's gonna be PA that gets a crit up on Loda. In the meantime, the Bad Rider was still chasing down the puck, but it looks like he was able to get away. The puck that is glimpsed back on S4, and S4 will end up going down without taking down the puck. And all of a sudden, virtus.pro win themselves another team fight, but lose the racks on the top lane. Split push, woo!
Yeah. I was just gonna wait till the team fight was done to talk about it. But yes, Admiral Bulldog was not in the fight at all.
Nope, it was a 4
he was
versus
just top
5.
lane. The fight didn't even start taking place until Admiral Bulldog was already on the tier 3. And again, that giving up that tier 2 in the top lane for the Roshan early on completely has made them in this position where they just
What is Lina doing there? Seriously, like really, why?
hanging out.
Hanging
Partying.
out with the trees that are not hers.
It's the Roche pit. Roche pit's like a mosh pit. It's like the same thing. She's there for a party.
Okay. Must be an American thing.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Alright, so, yeah, they gave up that tier 2 top, and it's just come back to bite them multiple times in this game with that constant split pushing up in that top lane. Now they lose racks. So they get another Aegis on Phantom Assassin, but they have to try and do something to close this out, otherwise they're going to get pushed out before they can do anything.
Yep, next time they win a fight or they take a fight, it's gonna be maybe a tier 2 that dies, and I mean, how many fights can they take? They have to start taking things in return for these fights. I mean, they got the Roshan, they got the Aegis this time, can they do something with it? And will they give up a tier 2 for that? If they do and they don't get anything more than just a fight, next time they fight, they're gonna lose Rex in the bottom lane, and it's gonna continue on like that. The lucky thing for them is that those tier 2s are indeed standing still, so they can actually trade things for those tier 2s, but they have to make sure that those things that they trade for the tier 2s are 100% worth it.
Yeah, VP are getting in the point where there aren't really trades that are going to end up being worth it for them. If they make any more just trades and they give up buildings in their base again, it's going to be pretty problematic for them. Regardless, tier 2 in the mid lane looks like it's going to be going down very, very quickly here. Illidan trying his best to just finish it off, but now the backdoor protection's there.
Disruptor ends up getting it. In the meantime, Illidan, he's actually got himself a Basher. Of course, one of those items up against an anti-mage that allows you to man-fight him so that he doesn't kill you and you kill him, especially if you are lucky with those crits. And if he managed to get himself an Abyssal at some point, it is going to be split push that Alliance has to rely on, because Loda won't be able to man-fight Illidan anymore at that point, I think. Unless he gets himself a Basher of his own after, like, his BKB is already there. He now needs more survivability, because those crits we saw just now, they hurt. And he has got survivability in terms of magical damage, and he's, of course, I mean, that strength is still in that BKB, but it's not enough to survive Illidan's crits at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely true that he's going to be taking a lot of damage from these crits. The fight, it looks like there's going to be a fight in the bottom lane.
S4 is going to be the target here. Kinetic Field gets turned on there by the Disruptor. It's already S4 that's dead. Glimpse back on EGM, and EGM goes down as well. The only two heroes for Alliance in their jungle get picked off. In the meantime, Bulldog is pushing a bit on the top lane as well. You might think, you know what, useless because the Rex is already down. But sooner or later, those tier 4s are going to be meaning something, so split push is always good. And of course, the faster that top lane pushes in, the less time virtus.pro can spend outside of their base. And that's Abyssal ready up on Illidan.
Yeah, and I think Illidan wasted his BKB there. I don't know why he popped it at all. Not with that many hero allies around, and maybe he doesn't have like a solid... I mean, maybe he didn't want to make the mistakes he did last game. Maybe he's all self-conscious now because of his some arguably poor BKB use in the first game.
That's so true. Yeah.
Regardless, yeah, I don't think he needed to do it there, and that just wastes the charge. He does finish his Abyssal now, though, so he's doing a lot of damage, and he also has that stun. So if Anti-Mage blinks in, gets stunned up, and then there's a couple crits, he can go down before he gets to really do anything in a fight, and that's really scary when you're playing a hero like Animage and you know that your team's counting on you as the carry. Of course, they have Emerald Bulldog, and he already took a lane of Rax, so stuff might happen there as well.
Yeah, we've got a 4-staff up on the Disruptor in the meantime. Did he actually? No. Ooh, was just a lucky one-hit bash, first hit bash. For a second there, I thought he used his Abyssal, but no. But yeah, tier 2s, picking those off are